My husband, who I thought was a kind man, underwent a complete change after marriage. Despite both of us working, all the housework was pushed onto me while he started idling away his time with leisure activities. Just as I began to contemplate divorce, I found out I was pregnant. I thought he wouldn't be happy. To my surprise, he was delighted about my pregnancy. From then on, my husband seemed like a changed person and started treating me kindly.
Got some tea that's good for morning sickness. Try it.
Gratefully accepting the tea offered, I took a sip. Instantly, I felt nauseous. Afterwards, I was rushed to the hospital and the situation made the doctor tremble. My name is Emily Wasson, and I'm 31 years old. I work hard every day as an office worker. I have been married to my husband Liam, who is a chef for almost 3 years now. I met Liam at a pub where I went with friends. He also came with his friends, and that's when he hit on me. I was drawn to Liam, a bright, charming, and handsome guy. I was interested in his profession as a chef and wanted to hear more about it from him. Recently, it's become common for husbands to help with household chores, despite both partners working. However, according to stories from my married friends, there are still quite a few men who believe housework is a woman's job. On that note, if he were a chef, he could easily cook at home without a fuss. Somewhere deep in my heart, I held on to such naive expectations. Liam and I started dating as we bonded over conversations about our shared hobby of gaming. During our courtship, we got along well without any fights. And 1 year later, we got married. I was supposed to be filled with happiness, but marriage didn't turn out the way I expected. Despite being a chef, Liam never cooked at home. Furthermore, despite both of us working, he didn't help with household chores at all. He left all the household chores to me, while he indulged himself in leisure activities. Even after coming home from work, he just lounged on the sofa, absorbed in gaming. On weekends, he'd head out alone in the morning for some fun, sometimes not returning until late at night. Whenever I asked him to help with chores, he'd complain and refuse.
I don't want to do chores when I get home. It feels like I'm just continuing work and I hate it. I left the housework to you, Emily, so please just handle it somehow. Isn't housework the wife's job?
Upon hearing that, I was appalled. Don't just pass everything off to others. Are you planning to make me do all the housework despite both of us working? Thinking that housework is for women is such an outdated notion. You should pitch in too. It's not funny to have household chores pushed onto me when we're both working. If that were to happen, it would be a one-sided burden on me. Liam then took offense to my comment and said the worst thing he could have said.
What? Don't mess with me. Why do you think someone like me, a popular and handsome guy, would marry someone like you, a plain Jane?
What do you mean?
Because you seemed quiet and obedient. I married you because you seemed like you'd listen to me. Know your place. There's no way someone would willingly marry a plain-looking person like you.
Liam's outrageous remarks left me speechless. Was his kindness before marriage just a way to use me? Did he suddenly change after we got married because he saw me as his personal servant? I couldn't help but feel resentful towards my past self for marrying him without realizing his true nature. But that's not all. After marriage, it became clear that Liam is moody and loves to have fun. He helps out with chores only occasionally when he's in a good mood. However, when he's upset about something at work, he takes it out on me with sarcasm and criticism. On top of that, Liam spends his salary on gambling and drinking instead of contributing to the household. When I complain about it, he explodes, throwing things or even raising his fist. I was tired of married life being so far from what I imagined. Feeling troubled, I decided to confide in my best friend Natalie about Liam. Natalie is a vibrant beauty who attracts attention from various men. She attended my wedding and knows Liam. I hoped she could give me some good advice, but things didn't turn out as I expected. Men are all the same, you know, Natalie said with a sigh. The world is full of men who don't feed the fish they catch. So, I've decided not to marry. Everyone is nice only during the courtship period, Natalie uttered with a sigh. With her extensive experience dating various men, her words held weight. After discussing with Natalie extensively, I still couldn't find a solution. Yet, I persisted. I'm just so tired. Every time Liam gets irritated, he yells at me or throws things. Do I have to keep enduring this forever? In response to my complaint, Natalie has a troubled expression on her face. That's the only option, isn't it? Liam puts up a good front, and even if you talk to others, they won't understand. If things go wrong, you, Emily, might end up being blamed. Even if you want a divorce, it'll be troublesome if he throws a fit. Upon hearing Natalie's words, I felt disappointed. Even though I had just gotten married, I was already disillusioned with Liam. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life as his servant. Even though I thought so, I could not go through with a divorce because I was concerned about appearances. Even after 3 years of marriage, Liam's domineering attitude remained unchanged. He continued to do as he pleased, leaving all the burdensome tasks to me. I've had enough. I'm divorcing Liam. Even if it means dividing our assets, it's better than living in this hellish existence. I'll take whatever settlement I can get. Having made up my mind, a troubling situation arose. As my health continued to deteriorate, I went to the hospital and to my surprise, it was revealed that I was pregnant. While it should have been a cause for celebration, I felt despondent. Of all times, why did I have to get pregnant right when I decided to divorce? If I give birth, I'll have to take time off and neglect household chores. In such a scenario, Liam is likely to shower me with insults. Yet, I can't bring myself to pretend this child doesn't exist. After much deliberation, I decided to inform Liam about the pregnancy. It would be troublesome if I quietly divorced him and it became a problem later. When I told him about the pregnancy, Liam froze for a moment. He might suddenly start shouting at me. I braced myself, wary of his reaction. However, Liam responded in a surprising way.
Pregnant? Is it true?
To my surprise, Liam was smiling and happy. I was taken aback by his reaction, which was different from what I expected. Ignoring my bewilderment, Liam starts talking to me.
We've been married for 3 years without a child, so I thought you were infertile, Emily. It's great news if we're having a baby. Well, I wonder if it'll be a boy or a girl. Exciting.
Are you happy about this? I might have to take time off work and won't be able to do much around the house.
That's to be expected. Since you're pregnant, you shouldn't overexert yourself. I'll take care of both work and house chores, so take care of yourself.
After that, Liam suddenly became kinder, like a different person. He started contributing money to the household and took over my chores. Even when I wasn't feeling well due to morning sickness, he took good care of me, never going out. When I was suffering from morning sickness, Liam would gently remind me not to overexert myself. Not only that,
I bought some ginger tea for your morning sickness. It helps with hydration too, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Saying so, he handed me the tea. Thank you. That's thoughtful of you.
Don't mention it. Taking care of a pregnant wife is a husband's duty.
Liam smiles as he says this. Perhaps when the baby is born, Liam will return to his former kind self. I hoped that this would also repair our relationship. I had such expectations, unaware of his true intentions. The tea he gave me had a faint scent of herbs and tasted delicious. This tastes like black tea. It's really delicious.
Right? It's nutritious, so drink plenty.
Even though I was suffering from morning sickness, I drank that tea multiple times a day. I was grateful for Liam's kindness. Then, a week later, a serious situation occurred. That morning, I was feeling nauseous from morning sickness. To settle my stomach, I drank the tea Liam had given me. However, immediately after drinking it, I experienced stomach pains and felt unwell. My vision started to blur and I felt chills, unable to stop sweating. At that moment, Liam was getting ready to leave for work. Gasping for breath, I pleaded for his help. "Oh, I'm not feeling well." Liam looked at me, his eyes widening for a moment, and with an odd smile, he said,
"Morning sickness, right? There's no need to go to the hospital for something like that. Just rest, and you'll be fine."
"But I really feel sick."
"It's just in your head. Anyway, I'll be late for work."
Saying so, Liam left. As time passed, my condition worsened and I began to lose consciousness. This was bad. Thinking so, I managed to call my mother who lived nearby. I had waited until the last minute but couldn't bear it anymore and collapsed in front of the door. Just before losing consciousness, I thought I heard my mother's voice. When I came to, I was lying on a hospital bed. My mother was sitting beside me, looking at me with concern.
"Emily, I'm glad you're awake. You were rushed to the emergency room."
According to my mother, she found me collapsed at the entrance and immediately called an ambulance to take me to the hospital. When the paramedics asked her what I had eaten, my mother found the tea on the table and took it with her to the hospital. She said she was shocked when she saw the tea. After hearing the shocking truth from my mother, I felt like I was going to faint from the shock. Then, I realized something. I had suspected for a long time that Liam, a womanizer, might be cheating on me. Liam often secretly used the computer when I wasn't around. I knew the password because I had peeked at it before. Everything should be revealed once I see what's on that computer. I asked my mother for a favor to solve the problem that had befallen me. "Mom, I need your help. Bring the computer at home." My mother agreed and went back to my place to retrieve the computer. When I saw it, I felt my whole body heat up with anger.
"I see. So that's how it is. I won't forgive this."
I devised a plan and got my mother to cooperate. First, I had my mother call Liam on speakerphone.
"Hello, Liam. Is now a good time? There's something I need to talk to you about." "Oh, Mom. Yeah, everything's fine. What's up?" "Emily and the baby. They're gone. Please come to the hospital near the station right away."
My mother pleaded with Liam while pretending to cry. Liam replied,
"I'll come right away."
A few minutes later, Liam rushed to the hospital. He seemed unable to contain his smile, but he froze instantly upon seeing me sitting up in bed. "Oh my, you're here. That was quick, wasn't it?"
Emily? You're alive? But Mom said you had gone."
"Hello, Liam. Both I and the baby are fine."
"Is that so? I was worried. I'm glad you're safe."
Though Liam said this, he was clearly disappointed. Just then, my mother entered the hospital room. Liam looked at my mother and began to grumble and complain.
"Mom, Emily seems perfectly fine, doesn't she? Please don't say things like gone. It's not auspicious. Even if it's meant as a joke, it's in poor taste."
My mother looked at the fussing Liam with cold eyes and told him something.
"It's not a lie. Your wife told me that she and the child will be gone after the divorce." "Huh?"
Liam was puzzled by my mother's words. I decided to add further pressure on him. "You made me drink poisoned tea, didn't you?" Liam froze at my words. Actually, the tea Liam gave me contained harmful ingredients for pregnant women. The ingredients cause the uterus to contract, putting mother and fetus at risk when taken in large doses. When I checked the tea's sales website, it stated in the precautions, "Do not drink if you are pregnant." I turned to Liam, who was blue as a sheet. "You tried to kill me and my child." At those words, Liam became agitated and attempted to divert the conversation.
Wait a minute. I didn't know that tea could be harmful. I only bought it because I heard it was good for morning sickness. Are you trying to paint me as the bad guy without any evidence?
Liam argued back, growing defensive. I had anticipated it, but he wasn't going to admit it easily. If he's going to be like that, then I'll fight back just as fiercely. I presented the data from the computer my mother brought to Liam. Liam looked puzzled, but when he checked the contents of the data on the computer, he instantly turned pale. The computer data contained emails exchanged between Liam and his affair partner. In those emails, Liam and his affair partner discussed targeting me and my unborn child. Actually, Liam and I had taken out life insurance on each other when we got married, just in case something happened. Liam and his affair partner were targeting that. There were other shocking revelations too. Believe it or not, Liam's affair partner turned out to be my own best friend, Natalie. Apparently, Natalie got close to Liam after our wedding, and she had been secretly having a relationship with him behind my back for a year. While cheating on me with Liam, Natalie calmly listened to my concerns. The emails even exposed this, revealing how they mocked me together. It's infuriating. I was truly foolish to think of that despicable woman as my best friend. Liam hastily grabbed the computer from his mother and attempted to delete the emails to cover up the evidence. Seeing his pathetic actions, I couldn't help but laugh. It's useless to do that. I've already copied the evidence emails and sent them to our relatives. Your actions have long been seen through. Liam's expression turned even worse at my words. He glanced around nervously, then suddenly slumped into a chair beside me.
Please, forgive me. Please don't tell the police. I was just coerced by someone threatening my child. I only love you, Emily. I swear I'll never do something like this again.
I was appalled by Liam's attempt to shift blame onto Natalie afterward. Does he seriously believe that saying such things will make me forgive him? There's a limit to being foolish. Why did I ever marry a man like him? I should have divorced him without worrying about appearances. I decided to say what I wanted to say in the end. Don't say stupid things. You poisoned me, and now you claim you were tricked? You put me and my baby in danger. Apologies won't erase your sins, will they?
Please don't say that. I can't survive if I become a criminal.
I couldn't care less about that. You and Natalie are the ones who did something so shameful that you can't show your faces in public, right? I filed a report with the police and I'm divorcing you too. Don't you ever come near me again. Upon hearing the commotion, the nurses quickly gathered around. To add to the chaos, the police were also there. It turned out the hospital had reported a case of a pregnant woman being poisoned. Liam was taken away sobbing and yelling. Natalie, who was also an accomplice, was later caught, and they were all found guilty together. Later on, I sought the help of a lawyer to divorce Liam. Of course, I didn't forget to claim compensation and child support from him. His parents paid everything up front, with the agreement that Liam would repay them once he was out of prison. I also demanded compensation from Natalie, which she paid from her savings. She was left penniless, disowned by her parents, and disappeared. On the other hand, I safely gave birth to my daughter and returned to my parents' home. Though she's the child of my detestable ex-husband, my daughter is innocent. Now, with the help of my parents, I'm raising my daughter with great care. I've become a single mother, but I have my parents as strong allies. I'm determined to do my best for my daughter's sake from now on.